Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a sunny day. How many sunny days do we think as a community they have in the part of Scotland that we're talking about today? Well, that sounds like a geography lesson. You don't want me doing a geography lesson, trust me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sip and Chat, or if you're watching on Intergin. Oh, no. Let me see if I can get you on Intergin. Intergin. Oh, there we go. Here we go. One sec. We've got add Intergin into the mix. I know. It dropped out. Welcome to Sip and Share. If you've never met us before, my name is Kate Carney. I'm the founder of Sip and Share. We're an amazing Craft Gin and Spirits membership club. I love it when I speak this fast because when you go onto YouTube and watch it transcribe, it doesn't know what the hell's going on. If I look like I desperately need a gin and tonic, you are correct. You have made the right judgment. So tonight we are going to chat with Alison from Linlithgow. Tell you what, let's go here. You don't want to go and say in Linlithgow after too many gin and tonics, do you, Alison?
You certainly do not. Hi, everyone.
Hello, lovely. So your bottle is there. And of course, you've had the beauty of trying this beauty before because you make it. So easy for you. But for the rest of us who have just got this, what a stunning, look at it, stunning bottle in our Intergin box this month. I'm going to give it a try. So, Alison, I nearly called you Linlithgow because I'm obsessed with the word. Alison, can you tell us introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about Linlithgow Distillery.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm Alison and I'm one half of Linlithgow Distillery, along with my wonderful husband Ross. We've worked together for the past 25 years, married for 36. We're still married. And the idea of the distillery came about back in 2016 and it involved a hot tub and a pint of Bombay Sapphire. So if you ever decide to make life-changing decisions, then do it in a hot tub with a pint of gin.
Many a decision have been made in a hot tub with a gin. Yes, I'm with you.
So it took us 16 months to learn the craft, took ourselves back to school, learned everything we could about distilling and botanicals and gin. And in January 2018, we produced our very first bottle of Lin Gin, which stands for Linlithgow Gin. But you can't trademark a town name, so we shortened it to a catchy name, Lin Gin, and we were the first to catch it. So there's been quite a few attempts to trademark the name behind us, but we own it now. And Lin Gin is our signature London dry gin, and it's the first gin we ever produced. The gin you have in your box this month is exactly the same recipe as bottle number 1 and batch number 1. We haven't changed it. It's one of the few gins we've got that we've never...
Nailed what you were doing.
Sorry?
You nailed it because you knew what you were doing. You went through the rounds and you got it right.
We actually hired, we volunteers they weren't paid anything apart from free gin, but we hired a tasting panel of 119 locals to help us create that flavour that is Lin Gin. And for 4 months they had some humdinger samples thrown at them until eventually we decided that it was a citrus forward gin that we wanted, and we landed with Lin Gin. And it was one of the tasters that suggested our key botanical, which is meadowsweet. We live in the Canal Bank and it grows there abundantly. So it's the one that we do forage all the time. So
what does meadow? So this is beautifully smooth, isn't it? You've made a sipping gin.
It's very much a sipping gin, yeah. But our premium range, which features all our Lin Gin gins, it's a higher strength. They all sit at a minimum of 43% alcohol. We use stainless steel stills. We don't use copper stills.
Tell us about that. Teach us.
They actually produce very, very smooth gin. And Ross, who's the distiller, he doesn't take a big hearts cut. He takes a very narrow hearts cut. So we have quite a lot of heads and tails left behind because he just wants that beautiful central bit of the hearts, which is incredibly smooth, and it's our signature gin, really.
Tell us about what does meadowsweet do to it. So meadowsweet's one of your core ingredients. What does meadowsweet do to a gin?
So in our gin, It lends an earthiness to it. It's got a slightly caramelly type flavour towards the end, but that's also produced by one of our secret ingredients. We have 12 botanicals in Lin Gin, and 9 of them were known and 3 of them were kept secret up until this year, until we started our distillery tours and tastings. And we wanted to give those people that were doing a tour something that nobody else got, so they find out what those 3 secret botanicals are. But because you guys are also special, you can find them out tonight as well. So the meadowsweet pairs beautifully with the botanical that gives that long creamy finish to Lin Gin, and it's French tarragon. And the 2 together give this earthy caramel vanilla. It's quite undescribable actually, because I mean, I taste it differently. But we've got peppers in there. There are 2 peppers in there that give that warmth at the back of the throat. One of them's cubebs, and the other is a secret ingredient. And we're just about to do a collaboration with the only UK producer of this particular type of botanical. Oh. And that's Bart's Spices, and it's toasted Sichuan pepper. It's not the usual red Sichuan peppers you get. It's black, and it's so citrus forward. It's not a hot spicy pepper, but if you bite into it, it's got a numbing agent in it, and it numbs your lips. It's a great party trick.
Wait, is this you teeing up another member of the Lin Gin family? You exploring something that's kind of just going to be? Oh, is that a yes, Alison? Your face is telling me yes. It's telling me yes, but I can't talk about it, Kate.
I'm not quite sure where you're going with it, Kate. Another member of the... Oh, I see what you mean. All right. No plans to increase the family this year in terms of gin.
So tell us about it. Let's leave it floating in the air. Yeah. So talking of family, who else is in your spirit family? So I can see over your left shoulder, there's a few friends lined up and some colourful bottles back there. Yeah. These in the little bit of merch that was in there.
We've got 3 ranges. So we've got our premium Lin Gin range, and that features things like our Navy Strength gin, our cask-aged gin, our Lin Gin, obviously, our Christmas mulled gin, although gin's not just for Christmas, mulled gin's for the entire year, and our berry gin, which is grown-up Ribena. It's a black gin. It's beautiful. But the coloured bottles you see are called our colours range, and Rob came up with that idea second half of 2020 during the pandemic. Nobody had a summer holiday, and we wanted to bring summer holiday smells, colours, tastes back into people's lives. So we took our old Lin Gin bottle, because this of course is the fancy new one, and we painted it, and Ross said, right, Alison, find me 4 flavours to go in them. So what we designed was a base gin that was identical for all 4, and then we infuse a single flavour afterwards. So they're designed to mix and match with each other. So 15 combinations of flavour. And the 4 base flavours are coconut, raspberry, lime and yuzu, that wonderful Japanese fruit that tastes like a cross between a tangerine and a grapefruit. And we actually won gold medal last year at the Scottish Gin Awards for our coconut gin. So
and it's actually coconut, so congratulations. And this is really interesting. I love stuff like that. I'm gonna put you there. So that's really interesting. First of all, awesome idea. Like, I feel like colour coordinated outfits and bags and shoes, like I can just see the pink one in my eyeline there. But also, are you telling me you've made a coconut gin, or is it a liqueur, or is it a coconut gin?
It's gin, yeah. We don't make liqueurs. So we took a decision on day 1 not to use sugar in the distillery. So we don't make any liqueurs. Our gins start at 40%. They're all full strength, and none of them are sweetened afterwards. We would prefer you to put a sweeter mixer in rather than have a sweet gin. So it's a full 40% coconut gin, and it's as smooth as silk. It's quite delightful.
Well, if this Lingin, which is the one that's been going on for ages, and 119 people went, Christ, yeah, that's the one, we're having that, thank you very much. And it's been so successful. There's a reason why people are successful, and it is usually down to consistency and quality. And the fact that you've then gone and made this interesting colours range, this gives me full faith and confidence that they're awesome. So I look sunny days. I look, what colour's the coconut one? Which one is it? Is it yellow?
It's blue. No, it's the blue.
It's blue. Yeah, someone's just written coconut. Interesting. I don't think, and you'll know, Alison, is there another just coconut?
There's quite a few variations out there now, but I do believe we were one of the first to actually bring coconut just on its own.
Now I'm going to guess, Alison, that the coconuts aren't locally foraged.
No.
I think there's some things we can do, and there's some things that we might struggle with. So four full strength, different summer flavors. So are they now part of your? I know they're not your kind of core Lingin range, but do they come under the Lingin brand? Are they an ongoing feature, or are they seasonal? Are they stuck with them?
They were only ever meant to be a one-off, just to see us through COVID. They were designed also to sit on the back bars, so that when people were ordering their drinks, they'd be able to see, oh, what are these lovely, lovely bottles? But that never happened because we couldn't stand at bars for nearly a year and a half. Up in Scotland, it was just the beginning of this year that people were allowed to actually stand back at the bars and order their drinks. So they're really beginning to take off in the on-trade. To give them their fair due, we are doing a second batch and a third batch. And at the moment, they're on permanent production, along with our Lingin, our full Lingin premium range.
So we've got the Lingin, we've got the Navy strength, we've got a cask. Do you have an Old Tom as well or not?
No, we don't have an Old Tom.
And then we've got 4 in the colours. So remind me of the colours, because I feel like I'm just going to name fruits now. Coconut, raspberry,
lime and yuzu.
Which is the most popular? Get my word out. Popular out of the 4 coconuts.
Yeah, I know. It's a tie between raspberry and coconut, because actually those two together are probably one of the best flavour combinations.
Two a single of each, or double. Nice.
Yeah, we've actually got a cocktail on our website called a Lingin Ruffle. There is a chocolate bar called a Raspberry Ruffle. A Jameson's Raspberry Ruffle, funnily enough, it's nothing to do with us, but it's that pink coconut ice encased with dark chocolate. And we've created a cocktail based on that, and it's got chocolate bitters, it's got the 2 gins in it, it's got grenadine, it's got some foamer, and then some grated chocolate at the top.
Yeah, as somebody has also just written, I've gone, yes, like with an angry happy. Like that's how I feel about what you've just described. And someone else gone, yes, indeed. So for your personal choice, and we know it's like choosing your children, but secretly everyone has a little favourite sometimes, even if it's just on the day. What's your take on, are you a flavour? Are you more juniper forward? Are you citrus forward? Do you like the raspberry? You know, where do you sit, and which one do you secretly tell that you sing sweet music now?
Unashamedly, I'm a London Dry drinker. First and foremost, it's London Dry all day, every day. The flavours have their place, and if we're doing cocktails, if we've got the family over and we're doing cocktails, then the colours come out in force.
Love it.
We're also big martini drinkers.
You said it and you looked uncomfortable, Alison, whereas I high-fived you. I tend to.
No, I'm just thinking, gosh, I sound as if I drink quite a lot of gin here.
And how do the colours go in the martini? Do you make martinis with the colours range?
No. I just make it with the Lingin, and in fact, we actually make it with the Navy strength now. I mean, the Navy it was just launched in, I think, October, November last year, so it's brand new. And we're just we distilled our second batch last week and bottling it and just after the Easter holidays. So it's very new and very scrumptious, and we're still experimenting with it. But I have to say, at the moment, it's actually the Navy over the London Dry that I'm drinking.
How do you think, though, when if you are accustomed to a stronger drink, that when you have a navy of a gin that you love, you kind of go, I don't know if I can go back.
I know.
It's a dangerous addiction. Is it 57%, or did you go higher with your navy?
No, we've stayed at the 57. We did try it a little bit higher, but the botanicals become just a little bit on the toasted side for palate. And the botanical that shines in our navy is that toasted Sichuan pepper. That top note of citrus spice is just incredible in the navy strength. And I can't get enough of it at the moment. I'm sorry.
What, one for consumers, one for trade, one for me? Is that what you do? You and Ross is that? Put it down, Alison.
It's more like one for consumers, one for trade, two for Ali.
Have you always been, what did you do before gin? What was your life? Have you always been a gin obsessive, or gin monster, as I call Sip and Chat?
No. I didn't get into gin until I was in my 40s. I didn't get my whiskey taste buds until I was 35. Before that, it was Bacardi.
Right.
And I came to gin from Bacardi, and it was a summer holiday in Mallorca, and one of our wives came with a bottle of gin, and that was it. And that was just round about the start of the craft gins coming out. I'm afraid I couldn't stomach some of the mainstream gins. But when the craft gins started to come out, and the very first one I tried was the Botanist from Isla.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful, and it really, really piqued our interest. We came from IT. We ran an IT company before.
Oh, wow.
And that's why we've gone down the stainless steel route, because they're quite technologically advanced.
Yeah.
And that suits Ross down to a T.
Is he geeky? Is he like gin geek? Distiller gin?
Not really. No, I mean, more techie geeky. I'm the botanical geek. I'm into weird and wacky things.
Okay, so before we go weird and wacky, we haven't talked garnish for little perfect serve or whatever you want to call, whatever. How do you drink? I mean, we know that you're basically injecting yourself with navy strength, but if we how do you drink Linlithgow, like standard?
This is a public forum, Kate. Come on.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're not supposed to reveal things like that. She told me that.
No. So we tend not to garnish, because
okay.
I love to taste the gin, and I love to taste every part of the gin. And sometimes when you have a garnish, it can detract from some of the more delicate flavors. So the rule of thumb in this house is never lemon and never lime.
Nice. I like your house. I like the parties, the colours. Never lemon, never lime.
Okay. Never lemon, never lime. Apart from two of our, I tell a lie. What the coconut will take lime. Absolutely, with ginger beer and lime with a garnish, just with the coconut gin is divine.
Yeah.
And lemon we put into one of our other gins in our Four Marys range, which I haven't talked about tonight. But generally with Lin gin, we will use either a plain premium tonic and a bit of orange or a twist of orange peel.
Yeah, nice.
Or a Mediterranean tonic and some fresh rosemary from the garden. But rosemary can be quite overpowering, because there is no rosemary in the gin. But I see in your box, you guys have been given grapefruit.
We've gone off piste, haven't we?
We have. But we use pink grapefruit as a garnish for the navy, because the navy's got 14 botanicals in it. It's got the 12 Lin gin ones, but then it's also got grapefruit and lavender. So we are using and experimenting with pink grapefruit at the moment. So tonight I brought home some pink grapefruit to pop in my Lin gin. Nice. And I think you've got bay leaves.
We do. I mean, I feel like I'm making a casserole to a degree, but I'm in.
Yeah, well, I'm actually do apologise. I'm actually experimenting. Oh,
she's gone. She's had enough of us. There she is. Oh, she's gone. It's the bay leaf. It threw her. She's got
I'm experimenting with bay leaves at the distillery at the moment, funnily enough.
Are we going in then? Pop it in.
Yeah, pop it in. Gentle swirl around.
So here's a question. Miss. Why? So most people, I'm going to get the feeling, Ali, that you're not like most people, but most people say to me, Navy strength, yeah, same as our signature main one, whatever we're calling it, but at 57% or 60%, whatever. But you've just revealed 2 extra botanicals.
Yes.
So why did you do that? Why was this you being creative, or Ross being techie, or combat team action? Why did you do that? The lavender and grapefruit, you said?
Grapefruit, yeah, because those 2 botanicals perform particularly well at higher strengths. Now, the lavender is one of the lowest weights botanical, so it's there as a tiny background note, but it also gives a slight sweetness just at the end, because at 57% you are getting such a whack of alcohol, but the Sichuan pepper and the juniper sitting at that high strength can be a wee bit astringent, so it's just to soften it slightly. And we don't use any lemon. The only citrus we use in Lingen is bitter orange peel.
Right.
And apart from coriander, obviously, which gives citrus notes, but it's the Sichuan pepper that gives the real citrus hit in our navy strength. But we wanted to put a little bit of fruit citrus in there just to combat the spiciness. And grapefruit turned out to be the choice. So
we all want a navy strength now, don't we? You see, as well.
Yeah. There's none at the distillery at the moment. At this moment in time, there is not a single bottle of navy strength.
Because it's so, which is proving more popular. I mean, I'm going to assume, rightly, I think there is a difference in price point because of the amount of alcohol, and we all should know how much it bloody costs. You know, everybody likes to think you make, God, look at this bottle of gin. I bet she makes 20 quid a bottle. How we laugh. I bet Ross is like that.
Yeah.
So
doesn't work like that when your bottle costs £5, you know.
Well, I was just going to say, like, we know you're taking this seriously when we have Linlithgow Distillery written around the edge of a bottle. When did this beautiful baby appear?
So we launched this in July last year. We had the first 6 months of last year were an absolute nightmare. We had just being in lockdown. Second lockdown wasn't good for small companies like us who are not in the supermarkets. Yeah. So we took a leap of faith, and we either needed to go home or go big, and we're trying to go bigger than what we are. So the first choice, it was the bespoke bottle. We needed a bit more shelf presence. We loved our old bottle, but with the previous branding, it was a wee bit more classic. It didn't have enough standout presence on the shelf. So Ross designed a new bottle based on our old one, but also based on 5 iconic elements in Linlithgow in terms of buildings and landscape. And this is what we came up with. So the colour is a nod to the loch. The shape is a nod to our fabulous St Michael's Tower and Palace, Linlithgow Palace, where Mary Queen of Scots was born. The ribbing, which makes it so touchy-feely, is to signify the layers of stone in the palace that have stood for centuries and hopefully will stand for centuries more. The shoulder shape is based
on, as well, because it's really angular, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's 2 parts to this shoulder. The actual, if you look at the bottle from the top down.
Oh God, I better check the lids on.
Yeah, make sure the lid's on, whatever you do. And using a little bit of creative license, these corners on the shoulders symbolize the crown of thorns spire on top of St Michael's Church, which is one of our buildings. It's also in our logo, which is embossed on the bottom of the bottle.
I am definitely going to lift it up rather than turn it over.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And it says crafted with the spirit of Linlithgow.
So yeah, and that's a nod to both our tasting panel and the fact that we make it in Linlithgow. So the rest of the shoulder, the flat parts of the shoulder, are reminiscent of what's called a cupola chimney, which you'll see on the top of distillery buildings, traditional distilleries. And we have 2 of those traditional buildings left in Linlithgow. One is St Magdalen's Distillery, which last closed its doors in 1983. And the second building is called the Maltings, which was formerly known as the Mains Distillery before it became the Maltings for a brewery. So both of those buildings remain, but they're now apartments, but they still have their chimneys. So that's a nod to the distilling heritage in Linlithgow. And it's also a future nod to us maybe having our own cupola chimney one day. Watch this space.
Watch this space. We will watch this space. Well done, you and Ross. Beautiful bottle. And
Thank you.
What a commitment. So, and I really like it. I really like it when brands do this because they're backing themselves. There's one thing having the product inside and hearing consumer feedback and thinking, oh my God, thank God you like it. But having the confidence, which is not always easy, in fact, ever easy, to go, I can do this and we've got this and we believe in it, because I know you haven't been able to order 200 of these and let's just see how we go. You've had to make a massive commitment. So is this going to be the new bottle moving forward that will embrace the rest of the range, or are you keeping this? Is this more premium than your colours range, or are they all?
Yes.
Okay.
They're a completely different price point because they're made differently. And there's some expensive botanicals, and once you paint the bottle, the fifth element, I'd said that, didn't I? The lock, Once you paint the bottle, you're adding cost to it. So just let me turn around and get one of the other ones.
Oh yeah.
So this is our navy bottle, which is exactly the same, but we've left it clear, because we wanted to signify the clarity and the I used to say the 3 C's, but that was back in uni days. It's not concise, but we wanted to convey that it was a pure, clean spirit. So we've left that unpainted. Our mulled one is unpainted. The labels are all different colours to match potentially the flavour profile. The navy's in dark blues, our berry is in pink, and also we have a cask aged gin. Well, we did have, we've now finished or sold out our second batch. We have another cask on the go, but it'll be another couple of months before it's ready. And it takes its colour from the barrel, and we didn't want to mask that with a paint. So the only one that's painted at the moment is our dry, our signature gin. But going forward, it could be we have to use the bottles up, so we may get them painted to put our colours range in. We'll see.
You just and that's the thing, that it's a business, and you had to make a business decision to back yourselves and buy. Frankly, I will know loads of bottles, and it's about using them in an efficient, the right way. Absolutely. So we know that you revealed at the beginning that you're doing something else. You're having a little look at something else, and you're doing that collaboration with the other thing. When are you starting to play with that? Is that starting to play now? Do you know what you're doing, or are you just experimenting?
No, it's going to be an experimentation at the moment, but we are dabbling with vodka. So we've done some trials locally. A couple of the local restaurants have been given some bottles to trial with their customers, and it's going down quite well. We've actually had the vodka for a couple of years, but we've just not done anything with it because we've been busy innovating with the gin. But it could be that we do some sort of collaboration with Bart's on a vodka, using some of their spices. So it's in very early discussion.
That's exciting. I really get a feeling from you that you are innovative and looking forward and interested in what's coming up, and yet still drinking the Lin gin and the Navy strength. Oh, you've gone for Navy. We're going for Navy now. So that's exciting and on the horizon. And then the colours range is still on the go. And everything everybody can get on your website is what I am absolutely going to guess with confidence.
Yes.
Well, do you know what? When I saw this, and I saw that I was chatting to you from Linlithgow Distillery, my only connection to Linlithgow is a friend I made when I was traveling across America in 2006 on my own, and I met a girl at the time, a young lady called Jenny, and she was from Linlithgow, and she had the most beautiful accent and a softness to her. So when this arrived, I was like, Jenny, I need to message Jenny and tell her. So you're open for tours, and you said to me earlier you're doing cruises as well. So if anybody, like tasting flight cruises, if anybody's Like, literally on a canal or on a boat?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have the canal that runs through from Edinburgh through to Falkirk, and then at the Falkirk Wheel, it then changes canals and goes all the way to Glasgow. But you can sail all the way from Edinburgh to Glasgow on the canal. And what we have is a 40-seater barge based at the canal basin in Linlithgow, and we hire it for the night.
Oh my God, it feels messy, Alison. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels messy.
It's a welcome cocktail and then 4 full perfect serves on a 2.5-hour cruise along to the aqueduct. You can get out and take photographs, and then an hour back. Very gentle. There's a munchie box from one of the local delis.
Nice.
And it's just a fun night. We trialed it in 2019, and it was so popular. We set 4 dates for 2020 and got the licenses through, and then COVID hit. And then the Canal Society in 2021, we picked another 3 dates, but they weren't ready to have more people on the boat that would enable us to break even on it. Yeah. So it's this year they've finally given the go ahead for us to have full capacity on the boat. We've got 3 dates already, and they're selling fast.
And how many people can you take on the boat at any one time?
We can take 36 because there's at least 2, if not 3 of us staff. Yeah. 3 of us in the company, so it might take all 3 of us, and the boat driver and his mate. So
do you know what? I want to find 35 friends or 35 Sip and Share members, and like, what a party.
That would be a fantastic party. And do you know what? The benefit is right next to the train station.
We're not. All right, so another thing for me to plan, but it sounds like a good one. Is there anything else, Alison, that you want to tell us about Linlithgow Distillery or Lin Gin before we let everybody, including ourselves, get on with their Wednesday night?
Just that we love what we do. The gin community is fantastic. We've met so many wonderful people. Gin drinkers are just the best, I have to say. But it's tough for us wee guys who, we're putting our all into it. Mom and pop. We took on, the other big decision last year was taking on one of our future sons-in-law. Now I say future because he should have been our son-in-law twice. Once in 2020 and once in 2021. Our other daughter also lost her wedding in 2021. So we've had, as a family, we've had an absolutely dreadful 2 years. The only good point is we didn't lose anybody in the family to COVID. And business-wise, it's just been awful for us, but we're not ready to give up.
No.
We're so keen for people to like our gins as much as we do, and we'll do everything we can to see ourselves go forward in the future.
Well, you're gorgeous, and we'll support you however we can and wish you the absolute best of luck. And I already know I can name about 5 members that are going to message me and go, coconut gin, coconut. I'm like, yes, I got onto it too. I'm with you. Let's all do that. So yeah, it was so nice to meet you, and give my love to Ross and his stainless steel techie enjoyment, and very best of luck with your vodka, and hopefully we will speak again another day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kate.
You are welcome. Right, see you everybody. Have a good rest of your week. All right, see you soon. Thanks, Alison.
Bye.